Good morning. My name is Dr. Koheli Bhattacharya, and this is the second part of our Squint frequently asked questions. So these are some of the questions that a lot of you asked in the comments in the last video. If you haven't seen the previous video on Squint, I will link it below in the caption. So what are the questions which we'll deal with today? First is, will exercises help develop 3D vision? Asked by one of the patients. Second is, can squint improve with Ayurvedic medicine? And the third is exercise better or is surgery only option to cure squint? So let's start with the first question, which was really interesting, which was, will exercises help in developing 3D vision? So the short answer would be yes. So what are the things that you need for good 3D vision? First, both eyes should have good vision. Second, both eyes should be seeing the same object at the same time. You would say that this is pretty easy, but this is not. For both the eyes to be seeing perfectly good 6/6 vision, sometimes squint in itself will not give you good 6/6 vision if you've had squint since childhood. But say that you have good 6/6 vision in both the eyes. So that is a prerequisite for 3D vision. The second is, you should be seeing the same object at the same time. So there are some exercises which can help develop this. So what are those? First is a Brock string. So if you haven't seen the Brock string video, that is also on my YouTube. I will link that below in the caption. So in Brock string, you have to look at each of these balls and be able to see the string like a V or a cross. Now, if only one eye is looking at the ball and the other eye has gone into squint either outside or inside, then you will see only one string and you won't see both the strings. As in, when you're seeing one ball, you don't see the strings diverge or converge. The other exercises are also on my YouTube video, which is this to see diverge your eyes, and if both the eyes, only if both the eyes are working together, will the green and the red balls meet. This again is another video on my YouTube. You can watch this one, which is under the caption 20-20-20 rule. I'll link it below. The third exercise is for convergence, and this is like a pencil push-up exercise again. If only one eye is working and the other eye is either diverged or converged or is not having good enough vision, then you will not see both the green and the red balls meeting together. So these are some of the exercises which are important for fusion. So the first is you have good vision. The second is fusion, that the eyes are fusing and seeing the same object together. And these are some of the things which can help in building 3D vision. You may not get perfect stereopsis, but there's a difference between stereopsis and 3D vision, which is very slight. And yet for normal viewing, for basic things that we can develop, you can definitely work on orthoptic exercises. They may not give you stereopsis, but they will give you a certain depth perception and fusion, which will help. The other thing which we also do is wearing red and green glasses. The right eye will see through the red and the left eye will see through the green. And again, if both the eyes are working together, you should be able to have a certain amount of fusion. So we give a lot of exercises using these red-green glasses. One of the exercises which I'll show you is having a red-green paper like this. So these are certain, and we give a lot of other orthoptic exercises. You can definitely do them. But will they help you get a job which requires 3D vision? Maybe not, because for 3D vision, we check it on a certain stereopsis page. Yes, we have seen a certain amount of improvement in TNO as well as, a certain jobs where you need 3D vision. But I wouldn't say that just doing these exercises will improve your stereopsis so drastically that you can get a job, but you can always try orthoptic exercises. The second thing is, can squint improve with Ayurvedic medicine? I have nothing against any pathy. It could be Ayurvedic, it could be allopathy, it could be homeopathy, it could be orthoptic exercises, it could be surgery. We have only one body, we have only one pair of eyes, and the eyes will not discriminate between what kind of medicine you are taking, either allopathy or Ayurvedic. As long as it works, I will definitely promote it. I will definitely ask my patients to take it. I am not going to hold my ego over the treatment for a patient. If it really works, for sure, I will definitely share it with all of you. Now, what are the prerequisites if I want to test if something works? First of all, get a cycloplegic refraction. What does cycloplegic refraction means? You put eye drops in your eyes, dilate your pupils, relax your cycloplegic muscles, and then get your glasses number checked. Many a time this is not done. So when you just put, check your number, you will get a minus number. But some medicines will act as cycloplegic, and then you will see that the number is lesser. This is a false way of saying that your number has reduced. So best is to get a cycloplegic refraction the first time over, so that your muscles are completely relaxed and you have a true glasses number. The second thing which you want to do is measure your squint at the same time. Measure the maximum amount of squint. We all know that the squint is not the same. A lot of patients will say sometimes the squint is more, sometimes the squint is less. Now, why does that happen? It depends on the time of day, it depends on if you're tired, it depends on how much convergence you are acting on. So you want to completely relax your eyes, and how can you do that is by long time occlusion. So let the doctor measure your maximum squint. When we operate for squint, we are not operating for the minimum squint. We are operating for the maximum squint. So we want to know what is your maximum amount of squint. So measure that. And how are you going to measure? Not going to measure on a photograph. You want to measure by prism diopters. So ask the doctor to measure your squint, the maximum squint in prism diopters. Take any Ayurvedic, allopathy, orthoptic exercises, whatever exercises you're doing, and then after maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, after a year, you want to measure the same parameters, that is your cycloplegic refraction, your glasses number, and your maximum squint, which is measured in all gazes, right, left, far distance, near distance, all of it. And that is the only way. If there's a really significant difference, maybe even 10 to 15 prisms, and I really see that difference, definitely I would promote that medicine, Ayurvedic or not. But show me the results in these kind of scientific terms. The next, is exercise better or is surgery only option to cure squint? So the first point is that there is no cure for squint. Squint is something where there is a dissociation between both the eyes, and this is mostly in the brain. It is not at the eye level, it is at the neuron level, but we are not doing any brain surgery, and therefore we cannot really say that we have cured squint. Yes, there are treatment modalities for squint. Now, is exercise better or is surgery better? Let's take both of them. Exercise will help you better control. Surgery is simpler because it's depends on the doctor, doesn't depend on patient variabilities, like patient is not doing the exercise properly, not doing enough exercise, is not doing the exercise for required number of days, meaning does for 2-3 days and then leaves it for a few times. So it is patient dependent, while surgery is doctor dependent. So there's a lot more predictable answers, predictable results with squint surgery because it depends on the doctor. The second thing is squint surgery is very fast. You do the surgery, next day your squint is gone. Exercise is over time. So you may be doing for 2, 3, 4, 6 months and you may not see the right amount of results that you're looking for. And the last is the cost. Surgery people think is more costly, but no. If you do the exercise properly and you go for regular checkups, if you count all the checkups that you need, maybe every 2 weeks I would check you how you're doing your exercises, what is the measurements, and over time the cost of measuring that equals or even increases than the surgery costs. So definitely, but is surgery the only option and the best option? No. Many times I've seen a lot of doctors operating on squints which are really not required, that surgery was not required. Why? Because esotropy or ingoing squint with a number of +4, +6. I just saw a patient today like that, with glasses number of +4 and +6, and the minute I put the glasses, there was the squint completely went. There was no need for surgery. And many a time, especially in the squint camps where they just want to come and operate, they don't see the whole patient, they don't even measure cycloplegic refraction, and so squint surgery is not the only option when it comes to squint. We need to check the number, we need to check a lot of other things, we need to check the fundus, we need to check many other things before we decide to do surgery. I hope some of these answers are answered in this video. I'll link all the other videos in the caption below. Please check it out and do leave me more questions so that I can do another video for you. Thank you.